Greetings, Carbon Units. Today's program brought to you by Soylent Blue. Soylent Blue. That's good, people. In the T29 today, this tank is pretty troll if you only have the turret exposed. And the front of the turret, not the side of the turret like I'm showing to everybody on the enemy team as I drive aimlessly toward the hill. So, best spot for T29 on this map? Well, if there's a lot of enemy coming over the hill, it's probably to go up the hill and face them. But not until after a very poorly aimed, completely unled shot against that guy. I'm gonna hang around and, watch him, because he's gonna be on the rocks before I can reload, and we're spotted. So anyway, back to the armor. Comparing this to the IS, the comparable tier Soviet heavy, the hull armor is not quite as good, but look at that turret. 279mm on the front versus 100. Even the rear of the T29 turret is 102mm. 2mm more than the IS at the front. And that gun, the 105 on the T29, does 198mm of penetration with standard ammo versus 175 for the IS. Slightly less damage per round and less DPM, but considering the survivability of this tank in a hold down position and the better penetration, you can put in a lot more damage. However, that requires that you stay hull down and not expose the side of your hull to the enemy. So we slice through that turret like butter, but then back down, exposing the hull, and there, of course, the SU gets around into us. So let's get over to the right-hand side, so the terrain will mask the hull, move back up. Now, if you're paying attention to the mini-map, we're basically the forward position. There's a swing and a miss by the other team, and we pull back up. Have a look, not much to hit there, not anywhere though, so sitting still. Put one right in my Francis Ford cupola. So, we've established a rather stable position here. Took a lot of damage there, because he got into our hull, I think. Well, that had a bit of a sizzling sound. He might be firing the skill. But now he's learned he can't do that without a cost. And he's missed his return shot. He's not so brave anymore. I may be alone on the slope, but we have a lot of tanks backing us from behind. If they try to come over the hill to hit me in the hull, our team will make short work of them. And they can't just poke over and take me out through the turret, unless they hit that weak point in the commander's hatch. So we're able to hold these guys back with help from the team behind us and keep them from swinging down and wiping out our defenses. But everything goes quiet. Now, we're doing a base capture. It's cooking right along. They probably want to disengage from this fight, get over to the ridge line, and try to reset. Now, it's been reset, but all those tanks are still around up here somewhere. So it's time to start pushing forward and see what we can locate. So tug there. KV-1, a wild KV-1 suddenly appears. Track him, get back, and we don't back off quite far enough. He's going to pass by his gun, and he gets us in the hole. Before we can do anything about that, our teammates take him out. And this is just what we're talking about. We're letting them up. They can't come after me without having to deal with everybody behind me. Another base cap coming, but it's not going to be much of a threat to us. We've got people in place to deal with it. Let's move up and try and pressure this KV-1. Go straight through the front of his turret.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Now we can come over and deal with this Tog. He's in a position to do a lot of damage, but Togs are armored with day-old baguettes. Does not take much to get through their armor. So back up, try and keep some terrain between us and these two tanks. A rushed shot, poorly aimed. Should have gone for the cupola. Same thing on his part. So now we're loading the skill for the first time in the match. There's only 2 rounds of it. I try to save it for when it's going to make a difference. Although, maybe I could have gotten through. No, I don't think I could have gotten through the front of the corner. And that's an expensive shot to risk. So we're going to hold on to it, make sure we can do something useful. Can we get him to come down after us? Yes, we can.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Bit of luck there. He's on the move, so harder to aim properly. And we're sitting still. Just a few seconds late on the reload. And coming up here, that's a trade of damage. Fortunately, we managed to get one into him, so it's at least not for nothing. But we've managed to prevent half the enemy team from coming down this hill with the assistance, the very able assistance of all the tanks that were sitting behind me. Otherwise, they probably would have managed to get around me. They did eventually try it. When KV-1 came over the hill, that was sort of the moment where they could have gotten through. That Crow Miles had a monster game. Gets the final kill. And here's why I do not mind doing these personal missions. I'll probably never do the platoons and get those tanks, but 75,000 credits for one match. Yeah, I don't mind doing those missions. I'll take those any day. So we got the Mastery Badge, Spotter, Shellproof, Fire for Effect, Steel Wall, High Caliber. It's not a monstrous game, it's not 10 kills or anything, but it's just the T29 doing what it's supposed to be doing. Staying hull down and dishing out some damage. Just under 2,700 damage, 3 kills, 1,300 base XP. It's adequate. A veritable font of adequacy. 16 shots fired, 13 hits, 10 penetrated. And we blocked 2,100 damage with that turret. Enabled damage to the tune of 2,400 by spotting and or tracking. It'll do. As always, thanks for watching.